And
What's going on, everybody? It is me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch, specifically for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a show that has been very dear to my heart, Jamie's heart, Chad's heart, and Antonio's heart, because we've actually been here from the very beginning talking about this crazy ass bizarre show, even to the point to where we were going to consider not doing it this season. But if you watch the season trailer recap that I think it was me and Jamie, right? We did it a couple weeks ago. We still gonna be here, just like they
We're
are.
gonna
So
be
if
here.
it's something very problematic, like I mean, that's crazy. We're gonna be here. They got rid of the lady, and although I love her, she left for her own terms. So with that being said, we're here to talk about the show. What's going on, Antonio?
What up?
Chad, it's been a long time. We have not seen you on the lean feed, and God, I don't know how long it's been.
That be MIA.
Probably
It's been
since the end of Salt Lake.
No, we saw him on Dubai.
Yeah,
On
you know,
Dubai.
Dubai got canceled, Chad. Maybe it'll get canceled over here, Bravo too, but we canceled it over here.
They did one episode and said no more. We're good.
Right, we did one
I
episode.
think we did like two, no?
Yeah, it was like two. It was a couple.
Yeah,
That's how I don't remember.
Nonetheless. And Jamie, what's going on? Welcome back. Who is the original snowflake of the lean Salt Lake City? I have to mention that because I mean he is. But no, it's been cool. I'm excited. I mean, just because I mean, you know, we didn't know how this season was going to play out. Last season was really good, just like the first season, but it got to be a bit problematic in so many ways. Of course, you know, that lady who we gonna say her name, she was on the show. She did some crazy stuff. She came out as, you know, a bigot, a racist, whatever you want to call it. In your words, you can go back and watch our videos to know how we feel about it. But the videos came out, they fired her. And so with that being said, here we are with season 3. So let's talk about it. Of course, if you're watching right now, go ahead and hit that live button. We'll be here every Thursday for the rest of this season. I know it comes on Wednesdays, but because it comes on at 9 o'clock Eastern, I don't see anybody going to be up at 10 o'clock to watch us because I damn near can be up at 10 o'clock. Well, for y'all, it is. It's early for me. So nonetheless, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be here all season. Should be a fun season. So the first thing I want to talk about. Go ahead, Antonio. Go ahead.
I just saw the lady, she tweeted and said, they still talking about me over there at the lean.
She said, I was gonna say, oh my God, we made it. Yeah. I was about to
Shut
go
up.
Chad trying to get that woman verbally attacked.
I was
hate
so about to
y'all.
be like, listen, I love it. Please talk about us. We want to hear. But yeah, the first thing I want to start talking about is this intro. This intro actually tickled me to the core because
so
it literally
dramatic.
went back to the very beginning. Like they all look different. They all look so simple. And the things everything they're talking about then, none of it is true now. I mean, from Jen talking about you gotta do to make money.
Yeah.
That did not age well at all. Meredith and Lisa, that didn't age well. And then it looks like, honestly, I know we talked about this at the for the trailer recap, but I'm really excited about seeing Heather and Whitney go at it. I really want to see that. It's going to be hilarious. I'm sorry, I can't wait. I'm ready to see it because
Heather's tearing into her.
And based
Heather
on
is
Watch What Happens, I was
ripping
going to say that. Based on Watch What Happens Live, they're still not on.
But I have questions because they did Ultimate Girls Trip literally over the summer together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wasn't aware they were.
Well, no, but the drama carries over into that. Yeah,
and from what Whitney was saying, apparently her and Candace are like BFFs.
Yeah, very true.
Now, which I didn't see that coming.
I can see that. That's interesting. I can
too.
actually see that.
Both kind of young, fun, carefree. I can see that.
But Candace don't put up with bullshit.
Yeah, but
maybe Whitney ain't brought her none yet, though.
Yeah, I feel like
until
Whitney does something that's going to get her upset in. But as of right now, I mean, Whitney, it's girls' trip too. I feel like we have seen, Eva gave us a much better performance on the damn girls' trip at the end of the season. So she could get on there and I could be like, yeah, it's Whitney. I doubt it. But she could get on there and I'd be like, oh, she's a fun girl because I doubt it, nonetheless.
But it's so miserable.
how did y'all feel about like all of that in which they showed and just how it's going to play out? Because it was a really good like opening teaser. I think they have a really good production company, and they're clearly trying to they're making the show even interesting, even in moments where they know that people may not be watching. So thoughts on that? Starting with Chad, who is back.
Like
so. I am back. I'm happy to be back. But I was really like you tickled about that intro. The intro was, I think I rewinded it actually because it was so like, wait, are they doing this? Like, I felt like it reminded me of like old Housewives seasons where it was like, okay, this is making me want to watch. Like, it really got me up. So I really, really loved it. I was really shocked because I didn't watch any of the previews before. Because I don't like to really watch teasers too much because it gives away so much sometimes. But I was really shocked at Whitney and Heather for the most part. But also randomly, I'm excited about it too because I'm like, really, what y'all gonna be going back and forth about? So I'm excited about it.
Okay.
I think Meredith has clocked in this season more than she's ever been clocked in as well.
Absolutely.
She has clocked in. I'm like, oh girl, maybe we need to clock back a little bit because
you need to disengage a little bit, Ted.
You need to disengage.
She is clocked in.
Engaged a little bit too much.
Baby, she ain't engaged. She had leaned in. That's what she doing.
Yes.
Antonio?
I like what Chad said. That intro was, I don't know. I would like to know who was behind it and what made them be like, hey, this is kind of what we need to do, because it's like showing everything prior and now there's a breakdown of everything that was stated in there, from the best friends to the money to I make millions and all of that. It was crazy. And it was funny still seeing Jen with that damn microphone on her fucking
they were so excited. It's like they were all just so like, oh my God, we on TV, like everybody's good, we have friends. Like it was very crazy to watch.
Less fillers, their faces looked
they look so small and normal, actually.
They look like they were in Utah.
Exactly. And so before we move on, I actually put together this little video of us from the beginning and how it started. So if you have been, because I mean, this channel did Salt Lake City was, I think, probably maybe one of the first ever news show to do, but like we weren't doing Beverly Hills, Jersey, anything like that. And so I started, Jamie came along, and then actually you two came. So this is actually a little go back and see how it started.
Happy anniversary.
How it started for the lean, rather.
To lean in, bitch. It's time for a new show, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, I've been hearing about this show for the last few months, and after watching the premiere, I decided that I have to lean in on this show. Today, with a special guest.
Filter.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay, Tiz in the
Girls
chest.
of Bravo. What's going on, Jamie?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, how's it going?
We be kicking on Facebook. Like hospital in here. We have a full screen, as you see. We have Chad, who just played that music. How you doing, Chad?
Mary came with, I don't care. I said it last week. Mary came with that wig done and her makeup done, and a black girl did it. I don't care what Mary said. I am team fucking. Even from the trailers, I remember when the trailer was released for Salt Lake City, I think it kind of grabbed people's attention to where it was like, what the hell? Like, who's Salt Lake City? But it was just interesting from there. I do think that
media. Antonio, what has happened in the last 30 minutes? Can you let us know what has happened for those who are watching right now?
That lady, y'all know what I'm talking about. Apparently, she's been terminated. Her services were no longer needed.
Okay. Let me other real quick, because I was like, well, damn, they let us know how it was going versus how it was then versus how it's going now. And this is how it's going now with the lane. It's a little backstory for those who have been watching. Like, we've been doing this show for 3 years. So excited. So let's get into season 3. I don't want to hold you guys any longer. I want nobody saying, damn, what a recap, what a review. It's the first episode. So and so let's get into it. So at the beginning of this season, we know that Lisa and Meredith are at odds, Jen, we saw over social media that she's been hanging out with Meredith more. And we knew kind of leaving the last season that Lisa would kind of be on an island of her own. You know, it kind of was looking that way after the reunion. Mind you, I love Lisa Barlow, but last season, a lot of things she was doing I couldn't get behind. And so I was just like with that. And so in this particular opening, they kind of gagged me because it looked like they about to start with the shits from the beginning, because it looked like it was about to be a meetup between Meredith and Lisa. But it actually was, and I was like, man, it was good, but I was like, damn, they about to get it popping already. They did. The meetups were actually between Jen and Meredith and Heather and Lisa. And so I will start talking about Heather and Lisa first, because how it starts is that Heather is saying that, listen, I don't know why Lisa would reach out to me, but if she's reaching out to me, she must be desperate, and I want to be there for her. I don't care how bad she's done to me. And the first thing I said to myself was, Heather is the same damn woman. She did it with Jen Shah. She's doing it with Lisa Barlow. She know damn well Lisa Barlow. If Jen Shah may like Heather a little bit, maybe, sure, okay, whatever. Lisa don't like her. We know that since season 1. She called her a fun time girl or around the world. Whatever she called her in season 1, she is
not around the world.
Whatever she called her, around the way girl. She called her everything in the book. She called her Shrek too. Well, Jen called her Shrek. So anyway, it looks like Heather just likes to be abused. And so in this moment, you know, Heather is confused by what Lisa wants from her. And so Lisa says basically she wants help as far as dealing with Meredith. She wants someone to kind of not get in between, but I guess help guide her. What it sounds like is that she wants somebody to talk to her because she ain't got the balls to do it herself. That's just what it comes, because at this moment, it's been, they said 2 months and she hadn't spoken to her. I don't know, we can talk about it, but in this moment, she just basically, Heather is actually quite real with her, because she's like, the things you said, like, how do you feel about him? She was like, you know, I really didn't mean him. And Heather was like, girl, stop. That's how you felt. You said it. And that's just what it is. So what are y'all thoughts on this conversation, how Heather approached it, and how Lisa was kind of just like, without asking Heather and being desperate, she was really in a very desperate. It lets me know, like, damn, Lisa really going through it. But
she's down bad.
I'll start with you, Jamie.
I fell out at that fake Lisa Barlow tone of voice that she gets. And when she said, cheers to us, and Heather said, oh, wasn't expecting that. Heather reminds me of Sutton. God bless her. That girl could get beat up 50 times, and she will be the first to answer your call and be there. So Whitney must have really put her out if Heather's screaming at Whitney the way she's been screaming at Whitney on these trailers. But Lisa Barlow's so performative. I love that woman. To call a lady that you said multiple times last season that you don't like over the seasons, and to sit and plead and like, I feel like you're the peacemaker, and I would really help if you could give me some advice. Like, girl, you are not going to take this advice. Shut up.
Exactly. Antonio?
I did think it was odd. Initially, I kind of hated that Heather was going to meet with her, just because I know how Lisa has kind of treated her, and even Heather still in her mind knows that Lisa don't really like her, and she's just meeting up with her because she don't have any other choices of anyone to meet up with. But she needs someone that's a link between her and Meredith, and Whitney wasn't that person either. So and after watching it though, I kind of like that Heather went, because I think it kind of gives her a more solid footing within the group, where she could potentially be the girl again from season 1 that we kind of love. She could potentially be that girl again within the group if she has her hands, you know, pretty much, and she's connected with everyone. So,
okay, Chad.
Lisa Barlow makes Housewives worth watching. She's like the housewife that just knows how to be like, I don't know. It's like Lisa gets it. She gets on my nerves, but she also gets it. Like Jamie said, the whole fake cheers to us, like she knows how to like it's so hilarious to watch her be like so ridiculous. So like, I really can't stop laughing at the fact that she's so like, she just doesn't really, she's such a narcissist. She doesn't see anything really wrong with what she really did. And she was like, I hear you. But she didn't really, like, she heard it, but it was really going it was going in one ear and out of the other. Like, she really didn't want to hear what she was saying. So that scene was hilarious to me. It was a great opener because it picked up where it left off last season. But Heather, I think Heather is a good person to just
Run
listen. Yeah.
Run over.
No, just listen.
Baby, run her over.
She's
Listen,
the
this
one that's
is
gonna listen. She gonna listen to the tea regardless. Whether she mad at
Okay.
you,
Yeah.
whether you mad at her, she gonna listen. And I like
Yeah.
that about her.
And she'll
I do
keep
like
it real.
the fact that she told Lisa, like, you meant those words.
Yeah.
I love that she really said that to Lisa. And Lisa's
And
like,
she's-
no.
That's one of the things that I've always liked about Heather. Like, yeah, she's a pushover. I think last season she was a little too attached to Whitney and Whitney's tea. But like Heather always keeps it real. Heather is definitely not one that's gonna like tell you what you want to hear and then go behind your back and like switch up the story and be like, oh well, but Heather's gonna tell you, and whether you get mad at her or not. So I really appreciate that from her. But she also does it in like I thought Lisa was gonna get mad at her, but she does it in a way where she was like, well, girl, I don't know what to tell you.
Lisa can't afford to get mad.
This is what happened. Exactly.
well, yeah. I mean,
So,
Lisa's
love
not
it.
in
I
a
love
place
that.
to really say much because honestly, all Heather gotta say is, "Well, girl, you invited me here. I mean, what you want?" That's what I would have said. So, I mean, she's not in any situation to really go at anybody right now. She's like on an island of her own. She doesn't have her best friend. She don't even have her half best friend. She don't even have the people that she think are her friends. She don't have anybody. She has nobody on this cast right now. So she has to go on that apology type tour. You know what I'm saying? And Heather was, I don't know. I wish Heather wasn't the first stop, but because Heather, you ain't got to apologize to her. You just got to show up for her and feed her, and she'll be fine, child. She won't care.
Oh, hell.
I will say they looked gorgeous right off the bat. They look the women look really, really fucking good.
Yeah,
when
they
they're
do.
in their scenes.
Yeah.
What I will say, Bravo is working these girls to the bone. It's giving me early New Jersey. Like the montage at the beginning gave me very much New Jersey early seasons, like where they were setting up this conflict. Like they literally only had a month off between the reunion when they started filming again. Like
Yeah.
Bravo said, we're doing this. Get back to work.
Well, you know what? Honestly, they don't have that time to waste. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Jen, I feel like because of her, she makes them film quicker because of her legal battles. And like, Bravo, I mean, they have to keep, otherwise, baby, she ain't got that much longer to go. Because
if they can squeeze one more season out of her before she
they probably already filmed season 4 and 5 and 6. Because they got to get it before she go to jail.
And to be honest, that's why it works. Because with other Housewives seasons, they have 4 or 5 month breaks where if they don't fuck with each other, they don't have to fucking see each other, and then they get to come back and reset. Like these bitches is still hurt.
I mean, you got to think about it. They do still have breaks. They do still have breaks because the breaks of a housewife is when the show is airing. They have it's not a full break because they still have to do press. They still have to do watch what's happening live. But that's like their break. That's when they can like travel and to do stuff like that. If you'll notice like they take all their trips. But like for example, like all the Potomac girls, they've been like traveling and stuff. Giselle was with her daughters recently. Mia was in places. Candace, they've all been traveling, right? But starting next week when that show come back on, they gonna all be back at home. They ain't gonna be traveling like that. It's gonna be very little. And so I agree. They have breaks, but it's just Salt Lake City. They have to work, baby. They are the ones. They are the Cinderellas of Bravo. Work.
Yeah. But they're still a new franchise as well. Yeah. So they still have to get that solidified footing like some of the others already have. So
it's really hard to believe though that they're already on season 3. Like it felt like they've been on for a while.
Yeah. But it's what I will say is, as much as I miss Mary's like comedic timing, she does not fit into the tone of the show now.
Right now,
Mary would stick out like a sore thumb even more so than she did last season. Because Mary already didn't entertain the foolishness. She didn't give a fuck about anything that was going on. She's not getting down in the mud with these ladies. And it was very, very clear from episode 1, these ladies are ready to get in the mud. And Mary that's not the kind of show that Mary would sign up. I don't even think she realized she was still filming half the time.
If she would have shown up to the reunion to see how she would have performed at the reunion, then I would be able to say, oh, maybe or maybe not. But based on how things had went that season and then in that reunion, I think had she shown up to the reunion, it would probably be a better fit for her this season.
I'll say this before we move on. Like Robo's Adventure says, Mary never fit. She never did. but she was still great on the show. I think that's how I don't think she ever was a fit.
She was on a completely different show every time she could come
on. On Barry's,
and it was like great.
Barry's World, what we call her show. All right, let's move on. We got a lot to talk about still. So outside of this conversation, at the same time, I guess, or they're showing it at the same time, back and forth. Jen and Meredith are having a conversation. They are they go and do this little spa day or jacuzzi, wherever they are. And I love how Desmond said, is it ever not winter in Salt Lake City? Honey, actually, it is, but I think they just filmed always during the same time. I mean, they film in that winter, spring, because I don't think they've ever filmed in the summer. I don't believe they have, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But in this scene with Jen and Meredith, Jen is talking about prepping for trial. You know, at this point, the trial is supposed to happen in March, but at this moment, it had been moved. So it was still set for March 10th, I believe. I was prepared to call in, but it got moved. And so she's talking about she wants to plan a birthday party for Coach Shah. And I just don't know why these women get on these shows. I guess they still have to, give a show, but they doing all this, like just Erica Jane and things they do. Like if you're under so much light, you would think you would scale it back, but they never do. And I don't think it's in Jen Shah to do that. So she's not. So she's planning a birthday for Coach Shah. And Meredith is talking about her relationship with Lisa. And Jen is just saying, like, listen, all these things she said, and Meredith says, well, baby, I got things on her too. It's things I talk about, and they both at the same time in the jinx mode say the affair. And I'm like, well, damn, I think Lisa's having an affair. So how do y'all feel about Meredith? She's clearly engaging now. She is, last season, she kind of started, but this season's like she's ready to play in this whole scene. And I'll start with you, Chad.
I think that what's happening is with Meredith is we're seeing her clock in because now she has an actual reason to clock in. Meredith never struck me as the girl to just start drama just for no reason, or just like, so I think that now we're seeing the real Meredith because it's like, you've literally talked about my family, you've literally talked about me, and the whole entire world has seen it on camera. True. So I think that regardless of how this season plays out completely, people will still side with Meredith based off of what we saw last season with Lisa, because it's kind of, we haven't got there yet, but Seth was giving Lisa what I feel like she's going to get for the rest of this season. Like, no coming back from that. So I think that Meredith is well within her rights to, if anything, they've given her the ammo to be the full bitch if she wants to be this season, and it'll be okay.
But you know what? And I'm gonna let you go for a second, but she could stand in it if she had somebody on her side. She don't have no friend. I don't know who of these new girls are her friends. Maybe one of them will be. But until she gets somebody on her side, she can't be that full-blown bitch. It's not going to work. Gotcha. Because they're going to ice her out eventually. She can't.
Yeah.
Antonio.
To continuation of that, I don't, honestly, even if Lisa was just being the bitch right now and whatever, I still don't think that Whitney and Heather would just completely ice her out. I still think that because they wanted to be in her presence and they wanted to be her friend so bad that no matter what she did, I still think that they would want to be around her, even if it was to just take whatever information she was given and carry it back to someone else.
Because they're messy.
Yes. The friendship with Jen and Meredith, I don't really
ain't that weird. Ain't that weird?
It was like, I get that at the reunion they kind of made a little bit of
enough.
But I didn't think it was like that, to where they was like, oh, we're gonna meet up and get in the motherfucking hot water tub and be swimming around like some mermaids. I didn't get that. But to see that, it was kind of odd, but I'm actually glad that it happened. I like when someone like a Meredith, who was kind of standoffish, people really didn't know her personality. It was like this mystique to her. But now it's like she's showing, hey, you come at me, this is what you're going to have to deal with. You come at me playing, I'm going to come right back at you playing even harder. So I'm here for it. I still don't really buy that friendship. Maybe she's just giving Jen some support. I don't know. But, for the sake of the show, if Meredith is engaging, then I'm leaning in. So, yeah.
Meredith definitely, I think that if the only thing that had been said last season was strictly about Meredith probably wouldn't be as angry this season as she was. But the fact that she wrote Lisa roped her husband in and her kids. That because you can tell even on the show, you know, her and Seth went through their problems in season 1, but they have a pretty solid relationship. Like you can tell when they're together, Meredith really does enjoy her husband. Like they have this weird banter and she lets her guard down around him. She's not like the ice queen around him. And so I think that when she took that dig about Seth not having a job and not being able to afford the house and everything, like that pissed Meredith the fuck off. And the friendship with Jen, honestly, probably more so sounds like a friendship of convenience. I can almost guarantee that after last season, Jen Shah took what Lisa said as an opportunity to get in Meredith's ear. I cannot believe, you know, Lisa said that. I would never say that. Are you hurt? How can I help? Like, Jen wanted to be Meredith's friend, or not to be Meredith's friend. She wanted Meredith to forgive her and forget all the shit that she had said. Very much the same way, you know, they're doing on Beverly Hills with Rinna and Erica jumping at Kathy to try to erase all the bullshit Erica been doing this season. She said, I'm using this as an opportunity to wipe my slate clean. and who knows if it's going to last, but I think Meredith is probably more pissed off at Lisa than she was at Jen. So
that's what I was going to say. It's very weird, like just seeing that. I mean, I know that. I mean, that was her best friend, so I get it. That's like a different level. But I mean, Curtis hurting words of words. I mean, Jen said a lot of stuff too last year. I just kind of find it convenient, you know, like, you know, kind of like, because last year it was Mary and Meredith, and then now it's like Jen and Meredith. And I'm more curious to see how things pan out as when she plays guilty. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see, does she still have a moral compass, as Crystal likes to use on Beverly Hills? I'm just saying, based on what she said last year, I'm curious to see how she responds. Does she still want to be her friend? Because last year she didn't want to film with her, she didn't want to be around her. So I'm just curious to see if she keeps the same energy. I will say I hollered at that when they kept playing that clip, but she was like, why don't you have a home? Oh, you can't.
Lisa ate her ass up though in that bedroom.
We went off. That little voice line takes me out. Why don't you have a home? Oh, you can't.
Production
job for 5 minutes. I was like, damn.
Production replayed that at least 10 separate times in different sequences. I'm like, my
I know
God.
she probably watched an episode like
God damn.
Meredith she'll have a way to spin it on us though, because keep in mind she is a lawyer. Remember, we found that out last season. Yeah. She'll have a way to make it make sense that why she got that cool with Jen and everything, and I'm sure it'll be worded nice and pretty. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, and also her and weren't. I mean, I'm sure they weren't as close as her and Lisa was. So maybe it's kind of like a situation where it's like, I see Jen. I really know who Jen is, but I don't know this person that I thought I knew. So maybe.
And Jen is so messy. Like, she could not wait to start trashing Lisa the second Meredith was like, I've heard rumors. Oh, you mean about her fucking other people? Like, goddamn, Jen. Like, could not wait.
All right, let's talk about this scene right here. Quitmormon.com. Now, let me go to this website while we talking, because I need to figure out what's going on. My thing is, if it's that simple to quit and put a 2 weeks notice in to be a Mormon, why we got to see a scene about it? I don't know. I don't get it. But in this scene, Whitney, first of all, I didn't know her daughter's name was Bobby. Isn't that interesting? Whitney, Bobby, Rose. I didn't know that. I did not know that until I was like, oh, her name is Bobby. But Bobby is 12 years old, and she's making documents about boys. And she's taking advice from Heather. Two problematic moments right there, actually.
When Heather said ugly sex is the best sex, I'm like, this is a child, Heather.
Right.
Ugly sex is the best sex. She said, don't worry about looks. You can buy them clothes. I'm like, please, somebody get this baby away from Heather.
Get this baby away from Heather.
Get her away from her.
Heather got with 3 girls.
Yeah.
Heather said she knows something about raising girls. Let her have a
and her girls are doing really well. Heather does seem like a good mom. Like, her girls are really, like, they in school.
She's pretty open. Make them comfortable with her. So
So quitmormon.com. What do you think about it? How do you feel about Whitney and her whole spiel? She basically says that she's a strong woman and she can do bad by herself without Mormonism. So that's the journey she wants to take. She wants to feel at peace. She don't want her kids to have the same I guess not the same beliefs, but she don't want them to feel like they have to have the same beliefs based off of the Mormon church. So she's choosing to take her name out of quitmormon.com, and she will no longer be a Mormon. Thoughts?
She had to do it 3 times, she said. The third time they finally removed her name. But she was talking like, and I'm not even gonna, it was funny because they tried to paint Mary as being like in this cult or whatever last season. But she was like, oh yeah, when you move, you know, they follow you and, you know, all kind of shit like that. I was like, that sounds more like a cult than anything I done ever heard.
She's been open about all of that with the Mormon church from the beginning. In this scene, I was actually more interested
call it no
in
cult like she got to
Heather.
call Mary Marks.
Heather.
Well, do you know what? If I ain't never heard a cult before, a cult before, I heard it in this episode because that's what I was hearing was something that she couldn't get out of, something she was being controlled in. It just sounded real cultish. Very cultish. So I think it's like Desmond said, hypocrisy is real. Baby, call me right now and say, I'm sorry.
She hasn't been in the Mormon church for like 10 years. That's not hypocrisy. She's
been living like a Mormon in forever.
Being out. She's like, I'm out.
In the house. She has a pole in the house. The man she's with, he was a married man. I'm just saying she ain't been living in that for a long time. So
didn't they get kicked out?
Right, I'm confused. She already
well, she said even if you like not, I guess, practicing, your name's still on their list.
On the registry.
Wow.
If I was that church, I would have kicked her out for that. Anyway,
don't ever speak our name. Trust us.
Please.
I was more interested in Heather's story during this because it feels a little more genuine when Heather speaks about it. Whitney, it just kind of felt like, okay, we're going to get together. What can I do for screen time this episode? I'm going to fill out a paper. Heather, actually, you can tell she's like, I'm struggling with this. I don't like this, but I can't hurt my family.
Really into it. Like,
her parents are still in it.
Her friend Whitney, they put her little jacket over. So, she was really Whitney probably always been Whitney always been a slutback whore. So,
so you saying that she is the whore that Lisa really was talking about? No. Okay. Well, any other thoughts on this? I mean, on this scene at all? Nothing. Yeah.
I like the little girl's red hair.
Yeah, she was cute. But she needs to not be talking about a list.
I thought that, Jamie, but I wasn't for sure. So
she looks just like her daddy.
She does look just like her daddy. I mean,
Whitney,
same face.
Whitney looked really pretty. Whatever work she had last year settled a little bit more. So she looked real pretty. I want that bar that they had. That bar in that house. I really like that little speakeasy.
Yeah. I'm sure
nice, nasty comments.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sure if the Mormons have Bravo TV and they're watching this show, they already kicked her out. So when she went to go quit, she probably was already. You know how you go to the drop down. Her name didn't show up in the drop down, baby.
I'm like, they had like an ID number.
They had
not an ID number. It's not the mark of the beast, Antonio.
I'm Mormon church member number ABC 73589.
Whitney gives me that she could have saw that. Whitney gives me that she could have went to the website, saw that her name wasn't there, and said, "I'm gonna make this into a scene. Like I'm gonna just make it seem like
her name was
I know these hoes ain't kicked me out and took my name off the register."
Man,
it looked like you log into work and it say deactivated. That was her. All right, let's move on. So Jen has a new house. I'm just gonna say that house looked real Giselle Bryan. I was like, I really thought it was a house. I thought that was Giselle's house. I was like, this is her new house. She's had a house every season, and it has gotten smaller. I mean, I don't have no house. That's fine. I have an apartment, but I also ain't out here doing what she's doing either, so I'm okay, right? And she has downsized the Shah Squad. And she is talking about the birthday party that she's having for Coach Shah. She wants to bring his bros. Did I know he was an alpha? I didn't know that actually.
No, he's a
Q. Yeah, he a Q.
He a Q?
Omega, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. He is. My bad. You're right. He did do that. He strolled at the end. You're right. So I didn't know at first until, or did I? I don't know if I did or not, but I was like, okay. He was like, which ones you gonna bring? And he was like, the ones that live here. I'm like, okay. And so his whole thing is that he's like, listen, you having a party for me, but make sure I don't want nobody coming to my party bringing no foolishness. I don't want nobody to use this moment to address anybody. I want it to be just a party. I'm like, okay, Coach Shah. Coach Shah, like, listen, I got these legal battles right now, and I also don't want no drama at my party. Because remember, his last birthday party, what happened? His wife was the person that did that. So I think that was a warning to her. So your thoughts on this scene?
I want to ask Coach Shah, where the hell you live at? You know what damn show you on? And it's a party, it's a scene. The people gonna show up, and it's gonna be some kind of drama. It may not be as much as last time, but it's gonna be a little something that's going down in those little pockets as people are filming throughout the night. So he looked a little tired.
I was gonna say that
feet and stuff like that night, because that man, you can tell he is really like
he looks stressed. He looks really like he aged a little bit,
like he's going through it. So
yeah.
Jen, take care of my man. Thank you.
Take care of that man. I want to know. Jen said this house was 4,500 square foot, and I want to know where. Because why was that couch on top of that fireplace? Like she was. I was like, girl, I thought you
it really was.
Square foot. This is.
The square footage probably include the driveway, the garage, and the pool in the backyard.
I mean, you got a house good for you. Live in your tax bracket, not somebody else's. But like,
I think I feel like this house is probably definitely in her tax bracket. Actually,
I felt terrible for her. That's really sad to see her go from where she was at to where she is now.
No, it's
and
like
then they showed the damn house. And then when she called the woman, it was like Allie, the homeowner. Like, y'all ain't got to do all that.
That's so rude.
That lady already going through it. Y'all ain't got to do all that production.
But they're going to do that, though, because it's the same as Toya's house. If we're going to do Toya, we're going to do her too. Yeah, let's be fair across all the board. And yes, Morgan at 40 inches over the fireplace. It was definitely 32 inches.
Her little living room was so compact. Like, I was like, how does she even fit the furniture in there? It was, I was like,
office? What is going on?
I know when she cooks food, the whole house smells like what she cooked.
And she got to open up the motherfucking door.
She got to open up the vent. All right. So that's basically what happened in that scene. Anybody want to talk about anything else in this scene outside this lady's house before we move on?
I hate y'all so much.
Boy, Jen, I feel so bad for her.
They had even like downgraded her little Keurig machine. Like she didn't even have like a big nice coffee maker. She had like a little small,
the compact, the Keurig simple Keurig one.
I think it was one of those properties that when you rent it and it's already furnished. You just go in there, everything is already in there. What you call those?
Housing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what it
was.
Now
she's staying at an Airbnb.
Definitely. All right, so then we get to Meredith and Seth. They have a scene. Did Meredith move too?
I think she did.
Because she
moved last season, right?
Yeah, moved every season too.
But she said last season that was a rental house. So she said that they were going to move into a new house eventually. I remember she said it on the reunion, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Meredith, she moved 3 times too, but I mean she's not under what Jen is going through, so I'll let her have it. And so she's talking to Seth, and she's talking about all the things that Lisa has said. You know, obviously Lisa not only trashed her, she trashed him too. Talked about he switched jobs, don't have money, and so Meredith says, "Well, shit. I mean, what does John Barlow do other than follow around Lisa all day?" And they show all these clips of of John being around. They also show clips of like asking him, "What does he do?" And everything seems to be with her. So it kind of follows the plot of what she just said. And so then she talks about these documents that she saw that was publicly available, showing that in 2018 they said was it distillery or something like that, but I think it was the business. I think it was the wine or the tequila, right?
According to her, she said it's
Watch
not.
What Happens Live that it was a different business, that it wasn't Vita. Yeah.
Okay. But I think Meredith's whole point in saying is that she's talking about our finances. She has her own issues here. Yeah. And so and it was public knowledge, so she found
not crowdfunded. Ooh.
And I just said, baby, Meredith is engaging. Any thoughts, Chad?
It's like I said, with Meredith being a lawyer, it's kind of going to be very difficult for these girls to really ever try to come at her with something, because she has the access to stuff where she can pull stuff and really get the nitty gritty on these girls if she really wanted to. So I think that it's one of those things to where Meredith is really being set up in the best position. So come at her, and you should expect to get zapped.
Oh,
Who? Not zapped. I'm scared.
yes, that.
I'm scared. Take this off me. I don't want to be here.
Because I would have never thought that. I would have never thought to see Meredith like pull up like somebody else's financial statements.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So it was just like when I saw it, I was like, well, she's really like clocked in this season. She's not playing.
Yeah,
That's
Meredith
something Whitney would do.
Meredith let them know, hey, even if Jen, and I really still hope she don't, even if Jen has to go away, the show can and will move on.
Oh,
but when
yeah.
they had all the documents up there and they had shit, that was just funny to me. So I was like, okay, production is doing what they need to do so far.
Absolutely.
So far,
Production is nobody's friend on this show.
nobody. They don't like
Nobody's friend.
Good. They should never show favoritism to anybody, okay? Unless you
I
can't
love
be
it.
helpful.
I laughed whenever Seth brought the ramen and he said, "This is what happens when I can't keep a job." I said, "Man, take that ramen back."
Okay, so then we get to this Harlem Nights party, and we are introduced to Angie K. She is one of the newbies on the show. I guess at this moment she's just a friend of Jen and like a party planner or something. I don't know, but they end up having a party at her house, which I'm glad, because if they had had it at Jen's house, everybody would have been sweating. It would have been a basement
They're
party,
like
right?
sardines.
You think her house is all carpeted? It's got carpet everywhere.
It definitely got carpet from the stairs and up.
Absolutely.
I was looking for a white refrigerator, but I didn't see one. So
Oh my God.
No, she had a stainless steel.
Okay, no, she did. But at the party, first of all, who was best? Who do you think was best dressed?
For me, Meredith. I loved her hair and her look.
Meredith looks refreshed this season, and Meredith looks good as fuck this season. But Meredith, I think Meredith, she made a couple of questionable choices last year when it came with fashion, and I think they dragged her for that reunion look, and she stepped it up a little bit this year for me.
Tonya?
Lakeisha. No, I'm just playing.
It was I can't. That was her friend, right? That was her friend.
Jen friend. That was Lakeisha. I said, okay, I like Lakeisha. But no, I would go with Meredith as well. I thought it was funny that Lisa was saying, "Oh, everybody has on sparkles," and Lisa had on black. And then Meredith walks in, and Meredith also has on black, and she don't really have on sparkles either. But from what I could see of Meredith's dress, I like the ruffles at the bottom. I did love her hair, her makeup, her face is settled good. It even moves now, so I love that also. So I'm gonna give it to Meredith, but I do think also that Heather, I like. I don't know if she's wearing like a body shaper now or what. But she looked like she had like a silhouette going on. She had a little ass in the back. She did.
Okay, good for her. And baby, she was on the prowl.
Yes, I did. I thought Jen looked really good, actually.
Jen looked great.
Good and
I forgot about Jen.
Especially when she entered, I was like, oh, she looks really good. And I will agree, Morgan, that was the most black people in Salt Lake City in a long time or ever, because it was definitely black up in there.
It was.
Yeah.
I wish that Mary was there. I wish I would have wanted to see where would she have been there. Would she have been over there with them? Been over there with us? I don't know.
Mary still would have been standing in the damn corner, like
Mary. Well, Mary wouldn't have gone in the building, because that many black people outside of a building, doesn't that make her uncomfortable?
Oh
no,
my gosh. That is a 7-Eleven.
Right.
Don't do it, Jamie.
Hold up now. Okay, so at the party, Heather is hot and bothered. She didn't. I don't know if his name Big Daddy, Big Baby, Big Easy.
No, it was Big Baby, and the other man was Big Daddy. That was Big Baby last night.
Well, she like all these Big Daddies, Big Babies, and
she has a type.
Yeah, Chase, it was two different men. That was two different.
I thought it was the same person all the time.
What's her type, James? Because I think she has a type too. We talked about it all last season.
She has a type. Her ex-husband don't look nothing like that.
Well,
maybe that's why he her ex then.
That's when she was a Mormon. That's when it was
okay.
Remember, he didn't want her. That's what she said. He didn't even want her. They just did it because of the church. What she really want is a strong black man. That was in this episode. It proved that she wants a strong, big black man.
Heather said she wants the whole little black babies in Africa. So
goodbye. Nonetheless, I will say this: she was having a moment, baby. She was getting that cigar lit up, baby. All I was, that meme of Sailor Moon with that in that picture of all the men, all the hood men.
Yeah.
That was she was just like, I'm with the brothers now. That was she was like,
I hate you.
No, that's why I always believed Lisa though when she said what she said about her in college. I really have always.
She a good time gal? Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
She got away. She started finding herself. I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, so Heather approaches Meredith, and she basically feels that Meredith should have a conversation with her, mainly because they have been friends for a very long time. Do y'all agree?
Not at the party.
Yeah.
Not at the party, but I do think a conversation should be had soon because there is a history there. But yeah, not at the party. Probably wasn't the best place for it.
Okay. And so Meredith is just like, girl, it's been 2 months. She hadn't talked. I haven't spoken to her. I'm like done with it. She's like over it. She walking around with her curl. She cool, right? So Jen gets up and Jen gives a speech, and a very nice speech.
It was.
And in this moment, I really said to myself, Coach Shah really loves this woman.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for what's happening to her for him, because it's like, I can see he really loves her. He's gonna stand by her, but baby, she going to jail, and that
his mama really loves her too.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I was gonna say that.
Wow.
I think I this moment let me see a lot. I used to be like, "Child, he don't want her. Child, he won't Antonio. He won't me. He want us. Whatever." Not saying gay, just saying that this is what I think he want, because wait, Jen Shah us. So with that being said, I really felt like, okay, this is really sad because she's going away and he really loves her, but it looks like he'll be there when she gets out. So that's good to know. And like I said, I put yes, there's some divine 9 on the screen of bravos. He started strolling. I was like, this is different. This is definitely a very black
Baby, I had grabbed my stack of dollars, okay?
Dollars.
Ready.
And so, from this moment, and this is what tickled me, Seth went up to, he ran into John.
Yeah.
And he tried his best to get it out by saying that whatever happens between our wives, that does not affect us. But he couldn't even get it out because it ain't true. Because it has clearly altered their relationship, specifically because Lisa has came at Seth. And so I actually hollered because he couldn't even get it out. All John could say was, "Well, I like your tie." And we never really see them interact for real. But they have had a much better relationship, and this has obviously affected them too.
Oh,
baby, this ain't Married to Medicine. Y'all ain't got their relationship. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is what it is. So
it was odd, and John was nervous as hell.
Yeah. John was nervous
because Lisa wasn't there.
Just like, I guess I should be doing this, but I don't know. But I'm gonna do it. But yeah, we cool, right? We cool? No. Oh. It was awkward. I don't know. Any thoughts on that part?
Seth said we see each other.
Yeah,
I think it was uncomfortable mainly because I honestly think that Lisa has vented about this many times to John, and I think that with it finally being out, I think that he was really like, "Oh wow, like you really know now the stuff that me and my wife talk about, behind closed doors." And I think that he knows that Seth probably, would have read right through whatever he could have said.
Yeah. They were the only 2 people at that party who did not show up in theme. Goddamn, they were wearing
they put on
John
a suit?
and Seth. Seth had on a tan fucking suit off the rack from Macy's. Like, sir.
Seth had on an interview suit.
And it was too big.
Well, he thought he was going to Brooklyn Nights instead of Harlem Nights.
Brooklyn Nights.
And I don't know what night he was at. I don't know what
Manhattan
night he
Nights.
was. Okay.
God bless him. But I enjoy. I like Seth.
I do like Seth, but Seth, even when they
Seth.
were having that conversation, to me, it seemed like Seth was trying to be like, "Hey, it ain't all like unicorns and rainbows, like right now. Like we kind of got some stuff to work through." So
yeah.
And this is interesting because we don't really, they've been trying to force the husbands down our throats for the last 2 seasons, especially last season. We know them, but we don't know them. Like, we know the Jersey husbands because they're, we know Married to Medicine. We know we know a lot of other husbands, but these we don't really know like that. And they're trying to make it a thing, this little pack. And so maybe this season we'll see. Maybe them having this little issue will make us grow a little more because we already are saying that we like Seth. And before now, I've never said that because he was just kind of awkward to me. Especially, let's not forget, in season 1, him and Meredith were at it. They were almost on the brink of getting a divorce. Yeah. But they made it through. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But it gets interesting with Seth more because Lisa, she walks up and hugs Meredith. You know, she's just like, hi, oh my God, good to see you. And, you know, she clearly sees that Meredith is the one to talk to her. She walks off. And, you know, they agreed that they're going to talk at some point, just not there. And I was like, girl, this is Housewives. Why are y'all playing? Go ahead and talk on the side balcony. Go ahead and get to screaming. I want to see it. But they didn't do it. I'm like, whatever. But it gets interesting because
listen, Coach Shah got enough shit going on. Let him have like a piece of
do not stop that man out anymore. I don't care.
This is TV, okay? Give us the moment. He gonna need that check to get Jen less time anyway. So anyway, Steph is by himself and Lisa walks up to him and it's just talking about Meredith and the things that she said. And you know, the things that she said about, well, she doesn't really talk about what she said about him. He brings up that basically, yes, you said things about my wife, but you also said things about me. And she's just saying, on one moment, she's saying, you know, she didn't mean it and she don't recall saying these things. Then it turns into those things meant nothing. And she's just trying to explain herself while also giving excuses. I feel like she was okay at first, but then she started to kind of make excuses for herself by blaming it on the fact that she's a girl's girl and she's one of 5 and, you know, she has things on her family. And I'm just like, all right, Lisa, you are really not helping yourself. And then she starts crying, obviously, because it's not going the way she wants. Seth is just kind of like, is not really buying it, honestly. His mind is made up. He's listening to her. And I think that's what maybe she should have focused on. But realistically, in the space she's in, I just feel as though, baby, she was looking for him to have some kind of compassion, and he was not here for it. And he rightfully so. I'm glad that he didn't, because not only was it about his wife, that's one thing, but she did say things about him. And, you know, they have a long-term friendship that I'm surprised. He probably was like, damn, she said all that. He probably watched the show, you know? And so, you know, on behind her, Meredith is kind of like, at first, Meredith was like, she didn't care. And then, like, minutes later, she was just like, why is he talking to her? And I was like, well, girl, go over there and get your man. You know, they were talking for a long time. That was a long conversation.
Yes, that was a long conversation.
I had intervened. If that was your friend, that your ex-friend, y'all was into it, was talking to your partner in the same situation, would y'all have intervened or left it where it was?
Would have leaned the fuck in.
I wouldn't have intervened. I would have I would have let her say everything she needs to say. And I would have wanted to hear from him everything she said, just so whenever me and her talk, I can have, you know, to say, okay, well, I let y'all talk and I want to hear exactly, you know, this is what he told me.
Yeah. Well, and I think that Meredith also, like, she knew that Seth wasn't going to be, like, buying any of the bullshit Lisa was saying. Like, she was very much like, okay, it doesn't really change anything. I think her and Seth kind of see eye to eye very, very well. And so I don't think that she was that concerned with it. I wanted to throw my shoe at the TV when the first thing out of her mouth was, oh, I feel so bad I haven't been able to sleep. And I'm like, girl.
She did say that. She did say that.
Like, so damn dramatic, man.
Lisa,
I love it.
Whatever
So
happened,
dramatic.
I'm sorry. Did she even say I'm sorry through that whole conversation, or was it just I didn't mean it? We didn't do this. Was there ever actually a?
She said, "I'm so sorry."
She did.
She said, "I'm so sorry."
She pissed me off, that lady. But God, she's good. Fucking TV.
I think Lisa needs to be like, you know what? It's okay for her to say, I was mad because you didn't have my back. A, B, and C. I was frustrated. I said some shit. Like, you can't go off and be like, oh, you know, I'm a girl's girl and I had 14 sisters and
right.
You just gonna have to stand in it and really
and then you start crying. You know,
Housewives gonna have to understand from some of them OGs. I said it and it ain't changing. What's up? Like that, you get a lot more respect when you do that, as opposed to going and trying to create these different narratives and have these excuses. It's like it turns people off, and that's what Lisa was doing last night. I still like Lisa.
There really is no. I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no way to come back from it, because I mean, but you gotta think about it. When this happened, they were already having issues at that.
Mhm.
They had a lot of conversations before this happened. They had a lot of conversations while trying to patch their friendship at that time. So it's not like it was all easy squeezy lemon peasy.
Right.
And then she went on a rant. They were already having issues.
Yeah.
They were already having one-on-one talks. And, you know, Meredith was already side-eyeing Lisa. And Lisa was already doing shady shit to Meredith on the side. So this was, to me, was like the icing on the cake. And I just feel like, you know, I don't know what it's going to take. It may not ever get to that point. But I think Lisa needs to make it up in her mind that if this does not get back to a good place, then that's just it. Because she's acting like it's killing her. And it's like, it's unfortunate, but it's a real situation. And sometimes you can say things and you just can't go back from it. You say it. Some people
I think Lisa mainly hates that that she got caught. Like, I don't she regrets saying it. She just really hates that people know how she really feels about Meredith. So
yeah. And this is one of those situations where, like, Meredith has every right to be upset with what you said. You said some foul shit. You apologize at the reunion. At that point, it's if you send a text that says, hey, I know we're not speaking. I know you need some time. I'm completely cool with that. But if you ever want to talk, I would love to chat and explain. But I'm going to give you the fucking space that you need. Because the only thing that you're doing is pissing Meredith off even more by forcing, like, we need to have a conversation. How are you? What's going on? Oh, I'm so hurt. Like, girl, please shut the fuck up. It's fake. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
I just
want to keep doing it because it's entertaining to watch.
I just want to say I am physically shaking. I'm physically shaking right now.
Bitch, Chad love a prop.
Listen, she put them glasses on. She said, I am physically shaking right now. Like, girl, there's no other way you can shake, girl.
I watched that a couple of days ago, Chad, when she was when they was on that damn bus. I was supposed to be somewhere, and I was like, wait, I gotta watch this damn scene. It was so much.
She said, oh my God, Stu.
Oh my God, Stu.
Lisa has a problem though. I always wonder why the housewives don't. I don't know. Like, when it comes to like real relationships, I always wonder, like, after the reunion, I feel like if that's my real friend, while we on this off season, let me try to make up with you so we can, you know, enter the new season on a whole new path. Because you can, you know, y'all can say, hey, we talked it over, we discussed it, we've moved past it. But I don't know. It seemed like I feel like a part of both of them is like in cahoots with wanting to make drama for the show as well.
That's possible. That's possible, though. It's kind of like, why not make it hot? I'm not talking to you. You don't talk to me. And we're not going to talk for these months or two until we get back on the screen. And then we can start to hash it out again. Since you wanted to do it on camera anyway. So,
yeah, I agree. And so after that, you know, as she said, she don't remember saying it. She remember, you know, they kind of, she thanks him for talking to her. And she walks off and hysterical. Of course, she's crying to John. She's ready to go. Typical Lisa. And then, you know, Seth goes back to Meredith and basically is just telling her what Lisa said, and just saying that, listen, you don't give an apology with an excuse. And that's what he felt like she was doing. And I'm like, damn, he don't give a fuck. He don't care. And so that's how the episode ends. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen going forward with them too, but it's going to be a long season. I think it's going to be a lot of friendships tested. That's one for sure. The Whitney and Heather one for sure. And next week, I find it hilarious that Jen is hosting another party. She's hosting something, and she calling it the garbage whore party. She's trying to make it a thing. She told Meredith she should get shirts made. And I'm like, girl, of course you would get some shirts made because you need the money. Everybody not trying to monetize every goddamn thing. That ain't all. Everything is not always for good cause.
Kind of saying like that, like garbage whore. It's like
right. That's not cute.
Of all the things,
right?
Of all the things,
bitch, I'm worldwide. I can see that.
I was gonna say that Jen wishes that somebody called her a garbage whore because she would be the one to put it on the show.
Oh, absolutely,
and be like garbage whores everywhere. Coach Shah. Yeah, no,
So, but it does seem like it's divided though. Like it's still the way it is this season. Like it's Whitney and Lisa, and then the other three, Meredith, Jen, and Heather. So yeah.
I love the foreshadowing on this episode. I don't know, maybe I read too much in it, but when they got to the party and Heather and Whitney were there, and that girl was like, "Oh, it's twins, it's cousins. Look at y'all's best friends, best buddies," and they're like all over each other. And what does Heather say? I can tell her anything. I love her to death. And I'm like, oh, but in the trailer,
Right.
I'm
love
so
that.
ready to
I can't
see
wait.
how Heather got that damn black eye.
Bitch, I cannot wait for that.
I need to know.
You know what?
cannot
Salt Lake
wait.
City has probably the most themed parties ever. Because in this little beginning snippet of this episode, they had like 4 or 5 different costumes on. I mean, we saw lingerie, we saw Marilyn Monroe, we saw like so many different costumes. We had the Harlem Nights parties, like they love a theme, which is fine. I love it. I remember other shows used to have that, and those were like fun.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they have it. I guess it makes for it, especially it's Salt Lake City. So what are you really gonna do?
Yeah.
There's
so many times you can go motherfucking skiing or dog sledding.
Right.
Oh my God, not dog sledding.
Not
I
dog
actually want to go dog
Didn't they
sledding.
go dog sledding last? They went.
Yeah, they always in the snow.
They
They'll be in
didn't
the
do
snow,
did they do
too.
dog sledding?
The dogs pulled
They
the
did.
damn things while they was on there. Ain't they?
Half
dog
them
sledding?
did dog
I
sledding, the
don't
other
remember
half
that.
did something else, right?
Yeah.
They can go bobsledding.
What's that? I ain't
Do
got
cool runnings.
Do y'all see Desmond's comment?
Which one?
Okay.
Jen versus government. Yeah, these are the storylines for the season: Whitney versus Heather, Lisa versus Meredith, and Jen versus United States government.
Desmond.
He ain't
Not a
lying.
lie.
That ain't not a lie. And actually, you know what? Desmond is. I think this is Desmond calling in right now as one of our callers. So let's get him on. What's going on? Is this Desmond from the chat?
Oh my God, I'm live.
What's going on? Welcome to the league. Thank you for calling in.
First of all, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I love watching you guys, but I just need to say that Meredith reminds me of myself. I don't know what sign she is, but she gives Capricorn energy.
Let me see.
She gave up on Lisa as soon as she found out that she was in on that memorial scam. And I think that she made a concerted effort to not go too hard on her at the reunion so she could have a whole season to go after Miss Lisa. I think Lisa is wasting her time trying to get back with Meredith. Meredith is plotting. She has her facts ready and she is coming fully loaded.
She's slow releasing them.
True. That's very true. And she's.
But I'm echoing really bad. I can't.
August 21st too. So I think she's what is that?
You said July 21st.
This is August. Oh no, I didn't put the wrong person. That's Mark. Hold on 1 second. Wrong person.
Oh, he hung up.
Oh, what happened?
Lord, you don't.
He was saying he was hearing some echoing. I think in his audio.
An echo.
Oh, I don't know how. I didn't do it in any echo. Desmond, call back in. I didn't do any echo. I don't even see him. He said he couldn't hear. He said he couldn't hear himself.
He said no. He was like, if there's an echo on his end or something like that. I don't know if he was talking about himself or what.
Oh, I don't know. Aw. Well, Desmond, if you can't call back in, we'll have you back in. But Meredith, it says her birthday is.
She's a Sagittarius.
Yes, December 15th is what she is.
That tracks. Oh, baby, she's gonna drag this out.
Hold on, Desmond.
She is going to drag this.
Well, you know what's funny? Lisa Barlow's birthday is the day before hers.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Desmond, can you hear yourself now? No. Can you hear yourself?
I can hear you guys. It's just like delayed.
Yeah, I think it is delayed. I think even on your end, but you just speak and we'll just listen.
Oh, well, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I live for Meredith. I think that Whitney is a complete hypocrite. I know that she has a stripper pole and she likes getting her ass smacked on national TV and all. But at the end of the day, the accusations that she was making against Mary about being a cult leader, like, I just think that that's insane. And growing up around people that constantly give to the church, like, I don't see any big difference between, Mary getting a big contribution from someone versus Whitney saying that these people are still coming to her door, knocking on her door, asking for money.
That part.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference?
Ain't one.
It's true.
Ain't one. I agree. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to add before you laid out?
No, but I hope you guys have a great evening.
Oh, thank you. And we
Thank
been seeing
you.
you in the chat. You didn't have us hollering too, but thank you for calling in, okay? And we'll hope we'll see
Oh
you.
yeah, bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. I agree, baby. Very hypocritical of them, but we'll see how it plays out. I wondered if she actually, after this episode, will we hear anything about the quit Mormon? Will she get, a letter in the mail saying you have officially been released from the list? I don't know if she has a membership card. We're going to find out. So,
Not a membership card.
Any final thoughts on this episode before we lean out, Antonio, Chad, or Jamie?
It was a great episode for me.
I hope it's not 22
It
episodes
made me-
this season.
Just like previously, it made me want to watch
Yeah.
the rest of the season. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
16 episodes, that's it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay.
16.
I hope.
Oh,
Because if they're already starting with this much like shit off the top,
yeah,
by episode 16 or 17, I am going to be drained.
I
Like we
hope
cannot
it's like maybe
sustain
13 episodes.
anywhere from 13 to 16.
If they had the production company that Jersey has, sure, because Jersey gives you 13 episodes and they done. But Salt Lake City, they really they make them girls work, and they have filmed a lot. Did you notice that we did not see anything about that lady? Remember, they was filming at first.
That's true.
Oh, that's right.
I had thought
We ain't
about that.
seen
I was like,
nothing.
I thought they was going to show some type of a sit down or something, but they was like, fuck her.
That would have been. They should have added that. They could have.
They should have.
2019. They could have said 2021. Showed her looking pitiful on their couch when she was talking to that black boy, saying, "Oh, I got a black friend too." And then 2022. I would have loved to have seen that, but they didn't do that. So. All right, y'all. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and lean out. A shout out to Robo's Adventure for the super chat. It says, "Great review. Can't wait to see what is going to break up bad weather." Listen, that is the one thing I am looking forward to the most because I need them heifers to be broken up. And honestly, the way it's going, I'm gonna be standing the hell out of heaven if she is laying into Whitney. Because I ain't never really liked Whitney like that especially since last season. At first,
I like Whitney.
Cool.
She's annoying.
At first, she was cool, but it became overkill. And when it comes to Whitney versus Heather, them actually going at it, it looks like Heather is going. She said, "You lost me, bitch. You lost me." I'm like, ooh.
And she said it while wearing a motherfucking crop top.
It wasn't even that for me. It was Jen Shah walking.
Jen Shah corset.
Jen Shah was like, "Oh, this is a much."
I said, "What event is this?"
It was. I cannot wait for that episode because it's gonna be so hilarious. I can't wait. Yeah, all right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you, Desmond, for calling in today. And again, Robo's Adventures for the super chat. We'll be here every Thursday to review episodes. If they come on Wednesdays, we'll be here Thursdays. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Don't forget Tuesdays are also Married to Medicine. Wednesday, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then Potomac will be on Monday starting next week, as in the 9th or 10th or whatever it is. We busy up here at the lean. Like this video, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Good night.
Peace.